guys, welcome back to Encore Chat. I'm here with Rich Monica, who is a killer drummer. You have to go check out his website. You have to hear what this guy does. It's all different styles. It's amazing. And he's earned every effort of this. He did it. You know, it wasn't given to him. This is what happens when you practice and study hard. And Rich, how you doing, buddy? I got you all the coffee. It's great to see you, bro. Thank you. I just had a question for you. Rich, like, when did you start playing?
I got serious around 11 years old, 12, but I started messing around with my dad's kit when I was like 7 or 8, but nothing serious, you know.
Okay, so you just were just took it up and said, hey, I like this, and then took it to that level. Like, did you study after? Like,
yeah, absolutely, of course.
Oh, okay.
But you know, like we were just talking before the camera started rolling, I always heard music. I mean, before the drums, I used to grind my teeth, and my parents were like, "Stop grinding your teeth! It was so loud. I could hear it, you know, in the little room next door. It was that loud, you know." So that's the first drum set I ever played. Just
that was it.
And I'd make up these beats with my mouth, and then I started doing the whole, you know, everyone's probably done this, like, you know, like.
Yeah,
and I just playing on my body all the time, which I think slaves used to do, you know. Like, I mean, this is all natural things, you know. I think any kid is, so it's just in you, you know, or it isn't. And I love all music. I used to like sing Jimmy Page guitar solos, or, I mean, I didn't look at it like I'm listening to the drums only. I could,
You
if there's
listen
a
as a
lyric I
whole,
like,
yeah,
you know, I'm listening to a lyric if I like anything, and that's all music to me. So it wasn't like the drums it was a calling, it was just music, you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, I mean, the studying like that you've done and things like that, I mean, obviously you put a lot of time in to practice and to learn your craft and what you're doing. I mean, obviously studying helps you, right?
Yeah,
I mean, to do
absolutely.
it. And would you recommend, because, you know, I'm here talking to people, we're here talking, you know, what the end result is that you can give in today's world.
Right.
Would your advice to anyone that's out there as far as for lessons, how important it is and how to help you?
Yeah, that's a good one, and it's a complex one.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to hear.
I taught, I taught privately for years, and I taught at stores and whatever, at schools, whatever. And they're two different mediums right there alone, because sometimes the stores, like we were just talking about, have the kids coming in from their parents because Joey down the street's playing guitar, now this one wants to play. So you're having to deal with people who don't even want to play, they just want to be popular or whatever else. That makes the teacher and the student all the time, it's just not really a real connection, you know? Now that's not always how it goes, so I think it's really up to the management or whoever's running the lesson department, whoever else, but I've just seen that could go wrong in that area right there. And then there's the other area of like teaching kids to just be, you know, School of Rock, where they're going to be the star, you know, and basically all of the stuff misses the one ingredient, which is learning for the love of music. You know, they're just learning it just for the beauty of learning harmony or learning rhythm, or, you know, hearing something. Okay, I hear what that is. I get it. You know, not like, oh, you're all preparing to play Dark Side of the Moon, you know, in a month. You know, I mean, that's cool. You know what I mean? And again, not to knock the education thing, but I think the main thing that I stress, and I think any good teachers or stores or whatever schools should stress, is, like I said, the love of music, of the notes, because there's, you know, the notes and rhythms are all the same. You know, there's styles that come and go, and there's things that are added to, you know, distortions added to sounds or effects, but it's, you know, a C major is still a C major.
Right.
And, you know, and an eighth note is still an eighth note. And
right.
a quarter note is always going to be the quarter note. It doesn't change, you know?
Yeah.
So, but like I said, styles come and go, and kids want to learn the new style or be cool. But as soon as you start introducing, like, okay, here's harmony, you know, here's diatonic harmony, or here's eighth notes or rhythms, there's a 16th note, kids go, oh, I don't want to do that. And that's where I go, all right, you know.
You don't have it.
Either you don't have it or you're missing the point. Actually, I don't necessarily discourage at that point, because I was a lot like that. I wanted to be Alex Van Halen, John Bonham when I was a little kid. You know, I was like, my main concern was getting black dot heads. You know, like, all right, those guys got. I saw the pictures. You know, I was visual, like a lot of kids. But I didn't know what I was doing or talking about. So most kids don't. You know,
right.
But I felt something. You know, I mean, it was always a feeling. You know, it just. But you know, of course, when you're a kid, you're not really all what you are yet.
Yeah.
You know,
So, of course, you got to mature.
you know, I had that mentality, but my dad was like, all right, you know, we'll get you some lessons. Of course, as soon as I started studying, I saw the connection. I guess this is the main point. I saw the connection of these things I'm talking about with music. I remember transcribing some Van Halen songs. Not like I needed to transcribe them.
Just wanted
I
to
could hear it, you know,
yeah,
which is really more important. I should stress listening more than, you know, writing or getting crazy. Just develop your ear. Listen as much as possible. But anyway, when I wrote stuff down, when I wrote the beats down, I could remember each section. Like, oh, okay, that's the repeats. You know, there's the chorus repeat, or here's the bridge, there's the breakdown. And all of a sudden, I was like, songs started making more sense. And then I got into songs more, not just the drums, you know?
Right.
So, and I was like, wow, this is all shortcuts. These are like cheat sheets. This isn't like hard work as much as it is helping you learn something and make it easier, you know? So I wouldn't have to memorize the whole song in my head, although, again, I feel that that's the best way in the end, you know?
Yeah.
It did having a new way of doing things opened up my mind to, like, you know, if you're going to go for an audition, you can chart 10 songs out on paper and write basically, well, here's the fill, here's the idea, you know, here's the beat. Yeah.
So that's going to help you.
Absolutely.
The education gets to the shortcut.
Yeah, it's a shortcut to, and again, but I can't stress enough that the teachers and the style, because there's probably more teachers than there are students at this point.
Yeah, today's, yes. That's a
good one. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of people talking about things and teaching things. But unfortunately, even with, you know, all the education and YouTube and all the stuff out there, there's a lot of misinformation, and like I've been stating all along, there's a lot of illusions or things created to make it seem like it's something else. Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to simplify it. Like I said, just get to notes. It's all. Well, this brings me to the next question to you. YouTube, and, you know, through people I've been interviewing, it seems like everybody has that same head about it. You know, YouTube's great if you want to, you know, like you can look at it and learn a song, and you can say, wow, I can play this, or try to learn this trick, or learn this style. But if you can't connect the dots, meaning the theory end of it. Absolutely, yeah.
then you know you don't have anything. And what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think, getting back to how's the internet and you as a musician now, but you're more advanced. But let's just say, in today's market,
no, I know exactly what you're saying.
What do you think about that as far as the internet versus doing the lessons, because you got to connect the dots.
Well, that's a really good point, and that's why I'm not even so much. I don't know. I'm not pursuing the teaching venue as much as I used to, and I've taught a lot over the years, but I just don't even feel it, unfortunately, as much for those reasons, because I'll have a kid who come and go like, I just need you to show me this, this, and this, and I can find the rest on YouTube or wherever else. It's created that scenario,
Okay.
So then I have to gear this is all he wants. I can't even build a system to teach the person how to really play music or really understand what's going on, like I was just arrangement and everything else. They don't want to do that. So that's what YouTube creates in that sense, because people see what they want, and they don't care what just give me the information. I don't want to, and they want the shortcut, of course, not even the real, like, all right, first you have to learn this before you get to this. So that creates a little bit of a, how can I explain it? It creates a mess out of there's so many different.
It's like learning bad habits, so to speak.
It's not any easier. I'll put it that way. There's people maybe who can play. There's more players out there, but less players with any substance.
Yeah, musicians, so to speak. I don't mean in a bad way.
Yeah, that's right on. There's kids now who are 12 years old can play Eruption or whoever, Teen Town, or any kind of crazy hard piece that was for us. We had to sit and rewind and learn and understand music. Now it's somehow part of the culture. Like, people can learn pieces like that, but then they can't play songs. They can't interact with people. You know what I mean? All these other things. So it's still just as hard, even though they seem like
they can do this.
Yeah, people are like, look at my 5-year-old kid. He can play a whole, he could play the whole Close to the Edge album. And meanwhile, and the kid's like a robot. Some kid taught him that. And the kid's just like, and if they're natural, even if they are natural, that's cool.
Right.
It's not the approach. I just feel like it's a different world. I got to live a lot when I was young, man. I got to go crazy and light fires in the woods and do stupid things like that. And that really, I feel like that made the music for me. I got to develop a personality outside of music, and then of course when I started playing, it really was my personality. It wasn't like I wasn't trying to be anything else. It's just who I was. Whatever. It's part of society. American Idol, all these things. As much as they can help, they hurt a lot. Everyone seems. Where's a Neil Young going to come from American Idol? How are you going to get somebody with that kind of?
It's like just that quick results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yesterday's news and just like Guitar Hero is a very good thing. Not saying anything bad about Guitar Hero, but there's something. Now, you being a musician too, you could sit there and you sound great and you're pressing orange, green, red.
Yeah.
But if you really count and do timing, it's very hard to play that.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah.
Right? You're counting, and and you're like a metronome, and you're like, wait a minute, here it comes. And it's like, wow, no, the timing's off. You know what I mean? And
well, you have to really hit those things to make them read. I've done it a couple times, and I was horrible. Like, everybody beats me. Like, I know I've heard Paul McCartney say that, like he loses at his own songs. But the real deal is like, you got to really hit it to make it work. But funny thing is, that's not really how music works. Like, it's subtleties that make things feel good. It's not like that's really.
It's the feeling. It's the feel. It's dynamics. It's everything that you do.
And all those things right there, they're becoming harder. They're becoming. I wouldn't say they're becoming extinct, but they're becoming harder to understand. They're not taught as often. You know what I mean, so that's the X factor that still makes music that is not quite attainable. As much as as it ever was. And I mean, in other words, with all these great technical musicians, it's still hard to find somebody with a feeling behind the notes. When you hear it, you know it. Everyone knows.
Oh yeah, you could feel.
You know what I mean? But that's to go back to the lesson thing. I don't think that will make that. I don't think teaching makes that kind of player. I think it can really help it and hone it in. I think that's a natural thing, but I don't think if you're natural, you shouldn't study. I guess back to the studying thing, it helps no matter what. That's all I do. At this point, I'm going through my papers or my books and trying to understand how to work a whole tone scale or understand dominant chords. Okay, if I put this, start the scale at this point, that's what I'm thinking all day. Or I'm going, all right, I've been working on this rhythm with my hands. What happens if I try this with my feet on top of it? And maybe not even that technical. It's just something I'm feeling for the whole week, like this rhythm on top of something. It's just part of me, and I'm messing with it. And it comes out. That's what I do. I mean, that's not really that's not working on Dark Side of the Moon record.
Right,
for
exactly.
Next month, you know?
You're working to improve yourself and do your playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And would you agree, Rich? I mean, when you learn, but if you do study and do stuff like, I mean, it even helps you to move faster. In other words,
Absolutely.
there's ways people can practice that are 100% better than somebody that doesn't know how to practice.
That's a great one. I mean? Absolutely. I have I'm giving away not my secrets, but it's funny. But like what I do is, you're right on the money. What I do is I have playlists, little hour sets I do of songs.
Okay.
And each song is like either a different sort of chord sequence or certain. Maybe it's like this. I'm actually speaking of guitar or bass, but well, I have one with drums too. What am I saying? But like each song, it builds to something. You know.
Right. Right.
So I have an hour of like, this song does this for your hands. This song does this. Gets your brain thinking of this. You know. Or this.
Right.
This is all about full legato notes connecting to the next. Like so, each song I'm like checking out where I am musically in every area. Okay, this is a staccato approach. You know, playing this thing. Next song is about this, and I designed this playlist to really check out where I'm at. You know, every week, whatever, and I do it. You know. And it's amazing how much it changes. I'm like, what happened? Where is this? And the next day it's great or whatever, you know. But it's still, I'm listening for those things. Right. And that shortcuts it. I can't explain when I started doing that, and it's been the last 5 years of that. It's so much. It simplified things and made things so much clearer where I was at. You know, here's where my timing is or whatever. I don't even know if I look at it like that scientific, but you could just see where you're at. You're not just playing randomly and going, oh, I want, you know. Right. So yeah, I have like a purpose to what I'm doing. And that came from teaching, that came from studying all those things, and I wouldn't probably have thought of that. Maybe I would have, but I wouldn't have thought of that, you know, without the education side of things. Just
give them a background as far as like who you played with, who you're on the road with, who you've done, your little history resume, because these guys really got to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a lot of people. I play with a lot of. I'm like a lot of people that I play with a lot of people, if that makes any sense, that most people don't know of, you know, and that's the real deal. Like, there's a lot of people like me who are doing tons of gigs that no one's heard of, you know what I mean? I'm working whatever every week, and doing it for a living, whatever, but yeah, I played with Papa Chubby for the last 20 years on and off. Does really well in Europe. Again, he's not so much known around here as well, but in Europe, man, it's like 4,000, 5,000 people.
Wow,
you know,
that's
we
great.
pull in there's like billboards everywhere, and it's interesting to see how that will change from one place to the next, you know, and how everyone reacts differently to the hype, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And but anyway, he's phenomenal. I've been playing with him for 20 years, and there's a good example of somebody who doesn't stop. Like we'll do like 2.5, 3 hours straight.
Wow.
You know, a lot of a show. You know, a lot of people will. The whole hour set, you're looking at them, look at their watch, or here's the next song, they got the set list, okay, we're almost done. There's a lot of people like that. He just goes and goes. So yeah, back to the main point though, like yeah, I played with him forever and I still love it. I played this band Tantric for a while, which is probably the most known, but God, that's like another 4-hour discussion, you know, that band alone. It's great, but just a lot of business insanity.
Yeah, doing different. Well, you know what? I got to tell you something, Rich, is interesting. And guys, again, like I say, you have to go check him out on YouTube and his website and check it all.
Do I have a website?
I hope you do. You should if you don't.
My girlfriend made one for me, and I think it's still up. My ex-girlfriend.
Well, we won't go there. No. But the cool thing is that I was noticed on the videos that he was playing, he was doing different styles, which makes a rounded musician the way they are, and a seasoned player. You can notice like I noticed you're doing some jazz stuff. I noticed you're doing some straight ahead rock stuff, and you're doing so the guy can do all different styles, and that's what a pro, an educated, hardworking musician does. And that's just what I can't stress, guys. If you really are into music and you want to learn, exactly what he said, he hit it on the head, the nail right on the head about, you know, you got to have the feeling, and you got to, you know. And you just gotta want it, I guess, is to really sum it up, right, Rich? And that's what we're doing. So
yeah,
you know, good. Okay, Rich, I want to thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the Encore chat. And again, it's Rich Monica, and go check him out. And Richie, I really appreciate everything.
Thank you, man. It's a great store. Everyone should come out and check it out. I used to live down the corner, but I would be here every day if I still live out here. But yeah, there's not many of these mom and pop stores around. This place has got the vibe, man. So everyone's in the area. Don't give your money to Guitar Center, man. They got enough money. You know, they got enough corporate money. Give some money to the mom and pop stores like this place, man, and help support real music. You know.
I appreciate that, Richie. I really do. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Really put an effort in to learn an instrument. It's so important. Thanks again for lending an ear. Thanks for stopping in to Encore Chat. I'm Pete Schmeeds that owns a small little store called Schmeeds Music, 831 Route 10 East in the Pine Plaza Shopping Center in Whippany, New Jersey. Thanks, guys, and stay in touch to see more videos to come.